Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? I lowered the lights again. I was still very, very white last time. I lowered the lights again. I've been getting complaints on the lights. That's a lie. I got complaints once about the lights, and it's going to forever live in my head, and I'm just going to continuously lower them until you can't see me anymore. Because one complaint for that day means it's a complaint always. How are you doing, chat? It's good to see you. Andrew Knapp, good to see you in the chat. One thing before we get kicked off here, I do want to keep reminding people that the Give, Send, Go for comic legend Mike S. Miller is still up as long as it will reload. It's not reloading for some reason. I want to refresh the page and maybe... probably should have done that before the stream, if I was actually competent at what I do. But I would like to share the Give, Send, Go for Mike Miller again after his stroke and make sure that we are there to help out. Just an awesome individual. So go check out the Give, Send, Go for him and help him and his family out with the medical bills that happened. Excuse me. They're about halfway there. And I would really, really love to keep promoting it until he's all the way there. Outside of that, we're going to talk my top games that I am looking forward to in 2026 because I didn't know what to talk about. But what I have been talking about with my buddy a lot lately is 2026 actually has games that I'm looking forward to. It has been a long time since there has been a year where there are games that I'm like, oh, looking forward to that, especially because since like 2014, 2015, there's just been a lot of like political narrative injected into games. And I'm just like, I'm done with it. So all of that being said, before we do any of that, why don't we get started off with a quick prayer for those out there that we're thinking of. And we will always, after the prayer is over, have some fun tonight. So in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. All right, Mario Trujillo says, evening, Royce, how are you doing? I mean, you're you, so that can only go so far. But I hope you had a blessed weekend. We had a pretty chill weekend. I came down with something on Friday, felt okay on Saturday, and now I'm starting to feel this sinus crap creep in. I think my wife gave me the ick. She's sitting over there. She doesn't want to look at me. She definitely gave me the ick. So anyway. Quick recap here. I was thinking about it, and we reacted to a video on Thursday about this guy talking about how he just goes and just spends money on games and puts them in his backlog, and he has so many games in his backlog, he's not even gonna live long enough to be able to play all these. And that is just a wild thing for me to hear, especially because yes, I like video games. Yes, they are a fun pastime for me. They are a fun hobby that I have, but they are not like the only thing that I eat, breathe, and sleep, and the only thing that I do. I also have other hobbies. I like working with my hands, especially when it's warm outside. I built my smokers. I love running, I love getting the smokers fired up and cooking good food for my family in the summertime, having barbecues, having people over. In the summertime, profusely drinking with my buddy, which is, Well, then when I wake up the next day and I'm just not feeling too good for reasons unknown, I play video games. But he was talking about how he just has so many of these games that are in his backlog and he's never going to be able to get through it, and how this is a problem and maybe other people are facing this. And I was just sitting there and I wanted to talk about it from the opposite perspective. And my perspective in this whole situation is I do not look forward to every game that comes out in a year. I know a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, there's so much coming out. How could we possibly get through all of these games in a year? Well, very, very simply, just adjust your taste and expectations. So for me, there are, excuse me. Oh man, this is going to be tough to talk for an hour. Also why we may or may not get to video stuff. and do a long stream tonight. I'm worse than I usually am. I've been getting good, trying to go for like an hour and a half. I got to get back to that point where I can do like 3 or 4 hours in a row, but just not there yet. Professor Savage Dad, what's going on? I haven't gotten through an entire game in almost a year. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. What did I play in 2025? I played Path of Exile 2 in the very beginning of the year. Tried going back, checking out Mass Effect for the first time. Got so far into that, but then Expedition 33 released and watched reviews, really wanted it. But we've got bills to pay first. My buddy gets like a week into the game and he's just like, this game is so good. He's like, I know you want to check it out. I'm like, I know, dude, I really want to check it out. He goes, I'm buying it for you. Don't worry about paying me back here. And I was like, awesome. So I ditched playing Mass Effect because I've never played those games and went and played Expedition 33. And then after that, I started building a smoker. So like, priorities. Anyway. But Expedition 33 was the only game released in 2025 that I was looking forward to. I can't tell you if there was a game in 2024 that I knew about previously that I was looking forward to. Same thing with 23. In fact, it's been a long time since there has been a game release that I'm just like that. I'm looking forward to that. I really like that. 2026 has 4 games for me. Now, you might be thinking 4 games, my goodness. Oh. Sorry. 4 games. My goodness, are you a pleb? 1, probably. 2, shut the fuck up. We're not here for your opinions, okay? And 3, when I'm looking at it, and especially the games that I'm actually looking at right now, they could potentially, if I were to play all 4 of them this year based off the type of games that they are, we're looking at like 1,000 hours of playing a game, right? That's 20 hours a week, right? Or, a really healthy part-time job, okay? So 1,000 hours out between what I'm assuming these 4 games. Now, I'm not saying that's the most or that's the least. I'm just estimating based off of the type of games that they are. And so when I'm looking at games to play for the year or keeping track of, ooh, this looks good, maybe I'll set money aside for that, I'm not necessarily looking for a lot of the most hype games. Sometimes I am because it's just, well, if, that's just, it suits my fancy. But Royce ain't a pleb. He can just remember the color of grass. Right? Oh, I don't know. It's covered in snow right now. I haven't seen grass in a while. Royce, go touch grass. No, because it's under 4 inches of snow and I don't want to be that cold. So in 2026, to my surprise, and there are a lot of banger games coming out in 2026 for a lot of people. For me, however, because I'm very selective, because I have a limited amount of time that I'm actually going to be able to play games, and most of that time is probably in the wintertime when it's cold outside, because I live in a part of the country where it was negative 42 degrees the other day with the wind chill. Without the wind chill, it was only negative 20. It was quite balmy outside at that temperature, actually. It was only the wind that made it cold that day. I digress. So for me, oh no, I broke my microphone. I'm trying to fix you. Stop moving. So for me, my 4 games for the year, I'm attempting to do this in release order, which I don't believe. I think one of them's going early access, but then we'll be live later. So potentially not in order. I don't care. For me, we've got Crimson Desert, which is going to be the massive single player game being released by Pearl Abyss, the creators of Black Desert Online. And honestly, I've kind of been looking at the game since I caught wind of it a couple of years ago, and I was like, man, this looks really ambitious. This just doesn't look like it's gonna be that good, right? Like they're overhyping it. I don't think they're overhyping it. I think they're, because I'm watching some interviews now with the PR guys. The Crimson Desert looks absolutely insane. Here, I tell you what we'll do. we will bring up the actual YouTube channel. I'm just going to mute this though, right? We're just going to pull it up. We're going to mute it. And then I'm going to talk about Crimson Desert really quickly. So Crimson Desert announced several years ago, and it's crazy the scope that they're going for. One of the things that really excites me about Crimson Desert is it's not actually being developed and made in Unreal Engine 5. It's being designed and developed in their own proprietary engine that they built Black Desert Online on, meaning that they're going to be able to handle these massive sprawling landscapes here in the background way better than the Do Everything engine, because it's literally custom built to do this thing, to have the massive landscapes in the background to handle an MMORPG style game. And the thing that I told my buddy, what makes me so excited about this is, yeah, open world, explore, side quests, all that stuff. Cool, awesome, great. I have said since I've been starting to get into this, I believe this game lives and dies on its combat system. And to my surprise, I believe it was in this one. While YouTube's being YouTube again, not showing some of the chat. I can't control that. I'm sorry. Correct, Roy. So we're here to troll you and remind us sometimes crazy can wholesome. What? Yes. And so I've always thought this game, because we've seen massive sprawling games. I mean, Where Winds Meet is massive sprawling, lots of just crap to do and run around. But that's a free-to-play Chinese game. This is going to be a Korean game, full price, $70. It's going to have a storyline. I don't think the storyline is going to be any kind of special. I don't think the narrative is going to be any kind of special. You're probably going to get a couple of characters that you like, maybe if they do their job right. For me, I'm like, this game's going to live and die on its mechanics, right? Everything is going to matter when it comes to how you fight the enemies. I saw the command list shared the other day on somewhere, a YouTube channel that I was watching, and they highlighted the command list. And this is not press X for heavy, or press Y for heavy attack, press X for, or whatever controller you use. I guess for me it would be, it'd be Y and X. It's not that. It is full-blown controller combinations to pull off different move sets. And I'm like, I tell my buddy, I send this to him, I'm like, bro, they're using the old magics. It's not just X for heavy attack or Y for heavy attack, X for light attack. It's straight up. It is straight up like R1XX, like R1XX, R1, like, to do these different attacks. And I'm like, okay, I now understand why some of the YouTubers that I've been following have said, yeah, journalists have a hard time with this game. Do you have any idea how happy that makes me to hear that journalists are having a hard time with this game because they haven't played a video game that came out before 2010? That is one of my biggest complaints when it comes to a lot of video games. Everybody wants to compare stuff to, like, is it a Souls-like? And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I've never played the Souls games. My buddy describes it to me, and he's like, well, mechanically, this is how they work, heavy attack, Y attack, dodge roll, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, bro, they had that in Ocarina of Time in, like, 97, 98. Like, why would they call it a Souls-like? Why don't they just call it an Ocarina of Time-like or a Zelda-like? Like, what are you talking about? Again, people who haven't played video games since before, 2010. This game here, Crimson Desert, stands to deliver something that I really miss in video games, and that is giving you the utilization of the full controller. You have the controller in your hand. Guess what? Get ready. I think this is going to be an absolute monster of a fighter when people really get into it. This is going to be the open world adventure game, probably more for people who are used to playing fighting games, who are constantly used to button combinations, because that's what I saw in the layouts. Obviously, the game just looks completely incredible. I'm really baffled with what they're doing here, and all of that to say, all of that to me And the reason that I say all of this is because, my goodness, I can't talk right now, is because a lot of the YouTubers that I'm watching, they've gotten playtests of it. And they're like, yeah, so this is an early build of the game. There have been some issues, but like also the game looks just incredible. It plays really good. They're like, this is wild. And these are guys that have been testing it out for like a year and have had multiple playtests with it. And not only that, Pearl Abyss is not hiding this. They've had multiple playtests and multiple different shows. They are showing this game off and they're like, this is what we're promising. And realistically, this is going to be a game that I believe is going to be right up my alley. Third person action adventure game that open world third person action adventure. No, I will not call it an RPG. RPG gets slapped on too many things. Fuck that shit. This is an action adventure game. I'm so down with it. I think that there's obviously crafting elements here. I've heard the leveling is gear based, not level based. And the way that they're going to keep the balance in it, I was just watching an interview where part of the way that they're going to keep the balance in this game is they are going to make it so when you enter different areas of the world, I'm assuming what they mean by areas is like different biomes, you actually have to grab different materials to upgrade your gear with that in order to kind of start doing damage in that biome. And that makes a lot of sense because that way they're basically, I'm not going to be able to play this game the way that I want to play this game. I will figure it out though, where I can just go and just over level and just become a god and just breeze through the storyline, which I will figure out how to do that. That's my goal. I'm going to fire up this game. I'm going to hit that grind set mindset the second that the game lets me. And I'm not going to go back to the story until I trivialize the story, because that's how I love to enjoy stories, because that's just me. And ultimately, this game seems like it's going to deliver on an absolutely massive scale. Why is my chat not showing up? Oh my goodness. The chat's not even on screen, guys. Why? Why is the chat not on screen? So, what do you guys think about Crimson Desert? Have you seen anything about the game? Are you interested in the game? Like, where are you guys coming from with all of this? There we go. Andrew Knapp says, for $5, dude, thank you so much. If they made a game titled Press Y to Win, game journals would still die in the tutorial. Oh, the ick is getting to me. Oh, the ick. Probably, yeah. And I'm liking the direction that I'm seeing with this game, because there seems like that's the other side of this too. This looks like a game. Crimson Desert looks like a game that you can put many hours into. I don't know what that means, but I know that I put a couple 100 hours into Pal World, and it's not half as big as what Crimson Desert is, and doesn't seem like it's going to offer as much. So potentially you could, this is a game that looks like you could potentially adventure, not play, but like adventure. We'll use that terminology for like 200, 250, 300 hours. This could be your only game. This could be a game that you buy and it's the only game that you play for the rest of the year based off of how large it looks and potentially its enjoyment. And it could be your only game for the year, which is why I'm very much looking forward to Crimson Desert. I think that what the developers did, trying to make a prequel to Black Desert Online, make this another MMO, and they got to a point and they said, this doesn't feel like an MMO, this feels like a single player game. And leadership was like, cool, awesome, make the best single player game that Korea's ever made. And they were like, done. Potentially this is what we're looking at. In the immortal world of Todd Howard, we took out skip trees. They were only lame. Who needs a leveling mechanic in a role-playing game? Oh no. What? I don't understand, Todd Howard. I know what you just said to me. Skill trees. Skill trees. He said skip. We took out skill trees. They were only lame. Who needs a leveling mechanic in a role playing? Oh my gosh. It just works. Oh man. Is it just me or does Royce remind people of Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle? Only, you know, minus the genius. Fuck off. My wife and children lately, funny story, have apparently been seeing a lot of people that just look like me or I look like them. And I'm like, guys, what you need to understand about me is when God went into the character creator for me, he picked white guy number 4 and just pressed go. Right? And he's like, look, I'm God. I mean, I get it. I made time, but like, am I really going to spend that much time on you to make you that unique? Like, whatever. I'll give you a gift. Well, the gift of Gab. I'll give you that. Oh boy, everybody loves that gift, right? So yeah, he picked, you know, stock character, you know, white guy number 4, and that's me. I'm white guy number 4 in the character creator, as are other people who look like me. And apparently when I cut my hair just right, I look like Flynn Rider from Tangled. That's what I've been told. But yeah. So what do you guys think about Crimson Desert? I personally think that the game could potentially deliver on something that a lot of people are waiting for. I'm trying to find the screenshot here. It was a Bellular video. I remember now. Because a lot of people want to, like, I want to know about the mechanics, and I want to find the screenshot where they showed the button combinations, and I don't just want to, like, send it to myself, but I am not able to find the screen. I could have done this before the stream, you know, like, you know, I'm trying to act somewhat professional, but I chose not to, and so we're just going to fail. But that is... yeah, that's honestly, that's just where I land with this game. I think that this game is going to provide potentially hundreds of hours of entertainment. Yo, what's going on, Dice Comics? I feel like Crimson Desert's going to allow for a couple hundred hours worth of gameplay, and especially if you're like me, where you may only buy one game a year. You know, you may only buy like... because I don't like, yes, I enjoy playing games. I love talking about the gaming industry. Even when I'm doing my summertime hobbies, I'm constantly listening to what's going on in the industry because I find that conversation absolutely fascinating. But as far as sitting down and playing just all of the games, no. And I don't want to play all of the games. My time is valuable. I'm going to pick like 4. This year, I'm going to pick 4. Usually I'm like, there's 1, maybe 2. Like last year, because I'm a big fan of Ghost of Tsushima, I was like, look, I'm going to wait for reviews for Ghost of Yotei to come out. Also, that one had a big hurdle for me. I don't play games with female characters, or female lead characters, I should say. I don't play games with female lead characters in them. I don't, never have, not my jam. But because I really liked Ghost of Tsushima, I was willing to give Ghost of Yotei a chance if reviews came out and said something like, oh my gosh, if you thought Ghost of Tsushima was good, well, by good golly gosh, you should check out Ghost of Yotei. Turns out the reviews that I saw, people were like, yeah, so basically, it's Ghost of Tsushima, but with like a worse story. And like, yeah, they did some different things mechanically that were nice, but also not necessary. So if you don't own this game and you want to play a game, just go play Ghost of Tsushima because it's better. It's literally reviews that I heard. Said it's basically Kill Bill. Yeah, but I heard the NPC characters were just not good. I heard it failed in a lot of regards. So that is my first game of like the 4 games that I have selected for 2026 that I'm actually excited for. Now, a game that I recently started playing because I got it on sale on Steam for $7.50 during the winter Steam sale was Solasta, Crown of the Magister. It is I believe they have a limited license from Dungeons and Dragons to use the D&D 5e system. And this was the one back in like 2021. And I know D&D 5e, most people who've been longtime D&D players enjoy 3.5, or, you know, Pathfinder 1e, and the Pathfinder system that spawned off of 3.5. I know of it. I've kind of experienced a little bit of all of those. I haven't played a bunch of tabletop in my life. I've played a little bit of tabletop, and what I have played, it's a blast. You've got to have the right group, though. You definitely have the right group. But Solasta, Crown of the Magister, was on sale for $7.50, and I took it on a chance. I was like, hey, you know what? $7.50. I heard one of my favorite YouTubers talking about it on his Friday stream, because he was talking about how this game, Solasta 2, was announced at the Game Awards, and he was like, oh, snap. Well, it wasn't announced. It had already been announced, but they showed off this trailer, and I was like, you know what? I'm super okay for $7.50 to get a D&D style, you know, RPG, a CRPG with dice roll mechanics and all that. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll check it out. Like, it's $7.50. I am 50 hours into Solasta, Crown of the Magister. I am most like, oh, Kepler. Oh, I forgot it was going to be, I forgot Kepler was behind it too. Those are the same guys that helped Sandfall with Expedition 33. So yeah, but I'm already 50 hours into Solasta, Crown of the Magister, and no signs of slowing down. I am most likely going to go and, for tax season, attempt to buy the rest of the DLC and stuff that I do not have, because that game is consuming me right now. I am here with you right now, and I am sacrificing my time with Solasta, Crown of the Magister, chat. I just want you to know, okay, that I am here with you and not playing Solasta right now. And I'm having a blast with it. I freaking love it. Is it the most inspired story of all time? Absolutely not. Does it have the greatest graphics I've ever seen? Not even close. Do I enjoy the mechanics and get to make my character stronger? And does the game give me the option to fight a fight how I want to fight? Yes, it do. And I fucking love it. I don't need super shiny graphics. I don't need crazy good story. You give me a half-baked story with decent mechanics and just something that I can sink my teeth into and be like, oh, I definitely died here, but if I just work my characters and then build and build and build, and like, I'll get to points in the game in my playthrough where I'm just like, cool, I'm doing good, you know, and then it's like, oh crap, now I'm dying a lot, and then it's like, oh, and then I start to figure out new battle mechanics and new tactics, because it's a D&D style game, which means I have a tool set that in a lot of games you just don't have. And you get to kind of think about how you're going to work stuff, and then I go back and I do it, and for a while there, it feels like I'm invincible for the next, you know, few hours. And then I get promptly put in my place by something, and I go, okay, scratch my head and think about it again. But now I'm starting to get to a point where I'm just on that slow progression where it's like, okay, I'm not getting my ass handed to me, but I'm also not just walking all over everything. And I feel that's a really good balance for a game like this, that your first playthrough, you just don't quite have a whole handle on it. I think Solasta 2, if it follows up and does, and it's half as good as, and well, I mean, it's going to be priced more, but if Solasta 2 takes what Solasta 1 did and it does it even better, I'm down. Solasta 2, and this was a game that I didn't even know about until the Game Awards and until I was watching Legendary Drops on his Friday night live stream, and he was like, he said he really liked playing Solasta, highly recommended it, and it just so happened to be on Steam that weekend when I was just like, oh, I wonder how much that game is, and it was like, right now it's $7.50, and I was like, and I'm buying it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but it's a guy that I watch online. He recommends it highly. He seems to have the same opinions that I have about a lot of stuff. And you know what? He was right. If you guys have not played Solasta Crown of the Magister and you like dice roll style games in the vein of like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, which actually, no, it'd be more Baldur's Gate 3 because it actually does show the dice rolls and everything like that. So you don't not like mixing between like real time and like it's not like tactical time. It's actual turn-based dice roll mechanics. Super, super fun. We are unworthy of such a sacrifice. We are mere insignificance. Oh, that's great. Royce is our favorite face scraper. Face scraper? Wait, what? What did you just call me? No. Why you gotta be like that? Anyway. So that is the second game that I am looking forward to. You're not smart enough to be a knuckle dragger. Oh, fuck. You fucker. So that's the second game that I'm looking forward to this year. So Crimson Desert, Solasta, and now a game that I talked about a few weeks ago that I really want to highlight again. This was a game that my buddy sent to me because he was watching the New Game Plus showcase that's being put on by some YouTubers like My Name is Rob, Luke Stevens, and some other people. This year, they obviously, didn't do the greatest job at it, but they're going to adjust and make it bigger and better next year, which is cool. But they did this New Game Plus showcase, and they showcased an indie title, which gotta respect the YouTubers because a lot of the big play. Now, there was a lot of indie discussed at the Game Awards, but this is this is Varen's Call from Forsaken Realms. So I looked at this and absolutely fell in love. My buddy was like, dude, I think this game is right up your alley. I have been begging for a Fable-like game. I've got Fable the Lost Chapters up there on the shelf right now. I love Fable the Lost Chapters. It's one of my favorite games of all time. This is an indie studio that is basically making a game very, very, very close to that. I love the way this looks like it could have been made in 2004. I love that they're going with these graphics here. It takes me back. It's simple. You're a mercenary. You need to go out and do mercenary stuff. Oh, hey, by the way, you definitely are going to be the hero of the world. And it's also got fun side quests. There's one where you talk to a guy in a porta potty and he tells you to go kill the gnomes. And they're garden gnomes. They're lawn ornaments. They're not real things. They're just the porcelain ornaments that you put in your yard. And you have to go hunt those down because you get the mission from a guy in a porta potty. And then you could dress up and just do all kinds of wild stuff. And obviously, I freaking love this. I saw this and I was like, this is the Fable game that I have been wanting to play. It's from an indie studio. This is, again, Forsaken Realms, Varen's Call. I do move my mouse constantly so I can keep the title of the videos up in the top corner if you guys can see that, which would be that way. But yeah, Varen's Call, this is the gameplay overview. I am very excited for this game. And I'm excited for it for a couple of reasons. One, it's an indie studio. I love supporting indie guys. Again, I just spoke about Crimson Desert. I'm actually going to put some money aside during tax season because we're getting a little back and we're going to pay some bills, and I'm going to take just a little bit of money aside and set it for Crimson Desert because I want to know. Probably going to be playing Crimson Desert, but like I said, I don't have a lot of time this year to play a lot of games. Even if I don't have time to play Varen's Call, just out of the fact that I support indie developers and I'm probably going to watch some reviews. As long as reviews come out and they're like, look, it's an indie team and they did a pretty respectable job. And I get those opinions from people that I watch. I will probably still buy the game just to give them money in their pocket, even because I'm not the type, I need to go buy stuff to put it in my backlog. Fucking hate having stuff in my backlog. Shit bothers the shit out of me. It's like when you open up a video game and you see that quest. I fucking love that scene. Sorry. That's so funny. This right here, it's so funny and whimsical. If you've ever played the original Fable games, you know how just absolutely funny they can be with their humor. They don't take themselves too seriously. But I would put this in the backlog, and I don't like doing that because, again, it's like a quest. That's just a quest marker, and you're just like, I want the notification to go away. Bothers me. I hate filling up my backlog. I think it's stupid. If you have a backlog, you're spending money on something you're never going to get to. It is a waste of money. It's a waste of time. But in order to just send these guys money, I would support this. I would absolutely just support this just to buy it. And so that way they have the money to continue developing. That's where I'm at with Forgotten Realms, Varen's Call. I love the art style. Definitely. Look, the gnome quest right here. This is so freaking, see, it's so good. And he's in a Porter John. Like, come on. I just love games like this. I have been waiting for a Fable game to come out that I can sink my teeth into for years. I saw this and I thought, good golly gosh, good golly gosh, gee willikers, Scoob. I just think this looks fantastic. And if I'm talking like that, I probably need to go smoke some dope and eat a Scooby snack. But it looks fantastic to me, man. Celestra makes me think Star Wars KOTOR was the beta test for Star Wars RPG, which was a beta test for 4th edition D&D, but was better than 4.0. I've not heard good things about 4.0. Also, Solasta, there's no R in it. Just if you're looking for it, don't put an R in there. There's no R. But no, Solasta. But those games have been around forever. It's not new. Those CRPGs are not new. They're just being revitalized because a lot of people just happen to be interested in that type of game. Turns out CRPGs are not dead the way that a lot of major industry professionals thought they were. Jersey for $5, dude. Thank you. Can confirm as a 30-year vet of role-playing games / DM 3.5 D&D better than 5e, but 5e is easier to teach new players. That is what I've heard. I've heard 5e is more accessible to new players and allows you. But I also heard 3.5 simplified a lot of like the mathematics that you would have to do with 3. Correct? Because I've only played a little bit of 3.5, but I heard 3rd edition was just like you almost needed to run algebraic equations for every dice roll. Please talk to me on that, Jersey. Well, that's 2 games I need to get. Dice Comics. What 2 games? Name your 2 games. Guys, I want you to be commenting to me in the chat right now, games you're looking forward to this year. Come on, this is a conversation. Don't just turn on a live stream on YouTube and expect the monkey on screen to talk the whole time and you have to do nothing. How dare you? You need to comment now in the chat. Also, if you're watching the VOD, I would appreciate it. I'm very sick right now, so I'm trying to ham it up a little. Although I feel like this is just me normally. I'm hamming it up for how I feel. But not really. Thyko was in 2 was insane for hitting people. Okay. 2, I don't know a lot of... Well, wait, wasn't Neverwinter Nights? Didn't Neverwinter Nights make use of 2? Or was that 3? 3.5 spreadsheet RPG. 5.0 is baby's first RPG. Dance Monkey, dance. Fuck you. Fuck you. Neverwinter Nights was 3.5. Okay. I actually have Neverwinter Nights on my phone. When I travel for work and I have to stay in hotels, I literally pull up Neverwinter Nights and play it on my phone. I actually want to get the little phone controller that I can plug into my phone that's got like, and I can, yeah, it's super fun. Like, you have no idea. It's great. So yeah, it was $10, dude. And the fact that these can run some of the coolest RPGs ever, like, fuck yeah. But all right. Excuse me. And a recent contender, a game that I went from insanely negative about to insanely positive about, was in the year of our Lord 2026. We have Fable. A basically, I don't even know what this is, because it is taking, I watched this developer direct, and it is taking so many cues from the original games that I actually feel like these guys played the original games. I was very concerned about this game, and it seems like they took what people said online about it, revamped it, reworked it. It wasn't just going to be this female character. They added a character creator, decided that was the way to go. I know some people have complained about, well, the male character walks like a female. Probably because in the original design of the game, they didn't have the male wiring with the male gait movements. And so when they added the character creator, they probably were just like, oh shit, they probably forgot to add that in. But after watching this developer direct, and it's what they say and how they say it, that I just thought to myself, holy crap, we're actually getting a AAA Fable game again that seems faithful to the original and kind of like a retcon, but also like a continuation of the lore of the original game. So what did they call that? It's kind of like what they did with the new God of Wars. They weren't necessarily retcons. They kind of continued the story, but they were like adjusting the continuity. There's a term for it, and I don't remember, but they're not erasing the previous continuity. They're not erasing the previous world, and they're making their own thing. They really are. They really are bringing the world retcon. But they're not changing anything from the past though, because retcon is a retroactive continuity change. They're leaving leaving the continuity in there and the world in there, but. I don't know but I don't know if they're using the old story. They're using all of the old lore for sure. But I don't know. But anyway, I went from being extremely negative on this game to thinking, oh, goodness gracious, golly gosh, another girl boss game that I just don't care about. Here's the thing. I don't care about any game that has a female lead character in it. I know that they announced the 3 Lara Croft games, Tomb Raider. That's what they're called. Tomb Raider game. I don't care. I don't care. I don't play games with female leads. I just don't. If I get a game where there's a party system and there are female characters in the party, that's fine. I'm controlling the dude the entire time. It's just how I am. It's just how I'm comfortable playing games. But now that I see this, and I saw somebody say a joke, they're like, oh, well, they finally added a character creator where, you're not just playing some female, some ugly female character and the character creator changes it for you and now you're going to play it. I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm that guy. She could have been a good looking female character and I still would not have played this game. But they added the character creator. And after watching this, I have faith that Fable is actually going to be Fable, that Fable is going to return. It's going to be fun. Sounds like they listened to the fans. The last time I remember the fans getting listened to online? The Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And now they have 3 of them because they went online. They said, guys, we hear you. And what was it? Like a couple of weeks later, they revamped the character model for Sonic, and then everybody was like, well, shit, I kind of complained about it, so I guess I better go see the movie. And then people went and saw the movie just out of goodwill, and then all of a sudden they were like, wait a minute here, hold on, Sonic is actually a good movie? And then they were like, well, I didn't really like the human parts, and then they listened again, and then for the second and third movies just really focused on the Sonic characters instead of the human characters. I am hoping that's what they did here, because they heard, hey, Ugo female chick character, and we don't like that, and they're like, fine, here's a character creator, go. And I'm like, you know what? Awesome. And then the way they talk about Albion, the way they talk about Bowerstone, the way they talk about other stuff, I mean, this combat does not look bad. Doesn't look great, but I don't need awesome super flashy, awesome combat in a Fable game. That looked dope. I just need serviceable combat. I can go and destroy towns and buy houses and evict people, and you get married and divorced and have children and do all this stupid stuff. I had a guy in the Discord the other day. He's like, well, do you, he's like, so you're not concerned about like some of the modern audience stuff they're going to have? I'm like, what are you talking about, modern audience stuff? And he's like, well, you know, like super like what was it? Effeminate male characters and like girl boss like female characters. I'm like, dude, the original games had that. In the very first game, your rival in the very first game was an obnoxious girl boss character who constantly made fun of you every time you saw her in the game, period. And the only time she was nice to you is when you had the option to kill her or spare her in the arena. Like, Fable has never taken itself seriously in any sense. I used to run around in a fucking pimp hat. Like, Fable has never taken itself seriously, and it does not look like it's about to take itself seriously here, and it looks like it's about to let us just... The one of the things the devs said is all of the players that they've ever talked to for the original Fable, it wasn't really the story or the combat they got, it was what you could do. Buying the houses, buying shops, being a property owner, the mini games that you could do, the job quests you could take, all of this stuff that was just fun. You can, you know, rent a house to somebody, and now they're like, oh, you can evict people now, and now, you know, we've got the morality system, which some people in a town might like you and other people in another town might not like you, and maybe you're playing a super good guy but they don't like you because you're super rich. Who knows? And I think that's awesome. I think that's an advancement on the morality system that they had in 2004. And I just am hopeful, because Fable The Lost Chapters is one of my favorite games of all time. Is it the best game of all time? Fucking no. Do I love it because of its whimsical nature? Fucking yes. I'm sorry, telling people to follow. And then we go to the Temple of Scorn. For those of you who know. Or the side quest, where you can basically, you know, go in and you can kick the owner of a House of the Women of the Night out, and then you can basically either be like, hey, women, you work for me now, or you can free that house and it can become a house for women of ill repute. And it's like, you know, for people getting, and it's like, oh my goodness, like, that's a super cool story. Stuff like that. Fable The Lost Chapters, if you've never, ever played it, play Fable The Lost Chapters and then go back and watch this Xbox Developer Direct for Fable 2026. And I think you guys are going to start to see a lot of what I see and why I'm actually getting excited. And I don't want to get excited for a game. I want to have some reservations to be like, ooh, maybe they screw it up. But also maybe they don't, because they added a character creator. They could have stuck to their guns and just said, no, screw you guys. We're going with our female character. Because keep in mind, the first 2 years of promotional material that they put out with this stuff was that one female character that everybody was like, oh, this looks bad. Now all of a sudden they're showcasing a character creator. I think they listened. And they didn't just listen to people online. I think they actually went and they spoke to Fable players. And I think some of them are actually Fable players. And when they went, oh, other people are saying this, and we played Fable 2 and we know what they're talking about, that's what makes me think when they say we loved playing the games when we were kids, I think that they're true. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too excited. But I am hopeful for Fable 2026. I really am. That's my 4 games for 2026, guys. It has been God, more than I don't know, since 2009. So, 17 years since I have been comfortable in saying there are multiple, because I bowed out of gaming for a decade. And as I've slowly been getting back into it, we were in the heart of the middle of Game Journal BS since like 2015 to now. And now all of a sudden, 2026 gives me hope for Crimson Desert. It gives me hope for Solasta 2 because I'm enjoying Solasta 1 right now. I absolutely love what Forgotten Realms Varen's Call is doing because it's a callback to old school Fable, even with the graphics. I freaking love it. And then in addition to that, the Fable creators who have been promoting just a not good, faithful looking Fable property are finally going to give us a AAA Fable in the vein and in the respect of what was that? Lionsgate, right? Lionshead. The Lion Studio. I know the name. I'm forgetting it. You know what I'm talking about. I absolutely am excited. Those are my 4 games for the year. I think I could very easily get 1,000 hours out of just those 4 games and probably not even have to touch a game in 2027. Right? Because I don't need every game that's coming out. I don't even want to play every game that's coming out. But if I see some good reviews when these release, we're going to buy them and we're going to play them. And you know what? If you guys want to play them with me, let me know. Jonathan Grant, what's going on? Types of games do your kids like to play? Minecraft, Fortnite, and then my kids have been playing the My Hero Academia battle royale game lately because they really like My Hero Academia, so they've been playing that. And then my daughter, she plays some other games as well, some other small like cutesy kids games. So yeah. But that's where I'm at. Oh goodness, Royce, how's you're so hammy, you're only a degree off from going in your smoker. Oh, fuck off. Oh goodness. All right. Games are escape and entertainment. Guys don't want to escape into girls. Oh, good. Oh, God. Jesus, D. Gray. I think a lot of guys would actually. Never mind. I don't use my gaming as escapism. I don't really need to escape from anything. I use it as downtime, right? I don't use my entertainment as escapism anymore. I have nothing to escape in my life. So I use it as downtime to wind down and to just kind of let the brain do brain things after a day. Requel? Yeah. It's not a full-on sequel, but it's also not a full retcon. Yeah. Well, most guys. I heard Fable wasn't going to have the morality function that was core to the game. Did that change? Yes. They talked about the morality system, but it being more complex than the original. It's not just going to be you're good, you're evil. It's kind of probably depending on if you're super nice to that localized town. Like, because in the first game, if you were good, you were just good, right? All across the game. It sounds like they're going to have different areas where if you're, depending on what you do in that area might hate you, but another area might love you. Oh my goodness. Oh, the ick is killing me, guys. So yeah, D Gray, I'm pretty sure. Go check out. You know what? And here's what I'm going to do. So I will share the Xbox Developer Direct right now. You guys can go check this out. This is for Fable, and I will post all of these links in the Discord. I will post them in the gaming chat, and I will put them all in kind of one post and be like, hey guys, here's the links, because these are my 4 games for the year. Fable, please don't suck. I really, really hope Fable doesn't suck. If not, though, we've got Forgotten Realms Varen's Call. It's amazing what happens when you listen to your customers. Yeah, Fable was the only game where you could crush your enemies, buy their houses, and sleep with their wives. It's so true. It's so true. Dude, Fable was that game where if just an NPC, it was like, I don't like the way you're talking to me, because they did that, just that super hammed up, like a British style. It was all the normal NPCs just had that really, I don't like the way you talking to me. And I would just be like, I'm killing them. Like, I don't like that you don't like the way that I'm talking to you. So nobody's going to ever like you again. And then the guards would show up. And then at this point, I'm already strong enough in the game. I'm like, all right, guards, you want to go? And then I would just sit there and just kick the shit out of a town. And then everybody be running away. And then all of a sudden it's like a property opened up. Another property opened up. A shop opened up. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I guess I better buy all these. Oh, it's so good. So good, man. I'm still playing Blasphemous, an indie game. Also Hades. Don't need any more games in my life. Yeah. Again, I don't like putting stuff in the backlog. I just don't believe in that. And so for me, it's like, ooh, do I think I'm going to play this and get and like I'm going to play it in the immediate future? I bought 3 games during the winter sale. I bought Witcher 3 with the intentions of playing that. I got about 30 hours into Witcher 3. I do not understand why people think that's the greatest game of all time. I'm going to have to come back to The Witcher 3, because when you hear for a very long time from a lot of people online and a lot of people that I talk to in real life that the game, my one buddy is like, dude, I would have told you not to go in with expectations that high. I'm like, yeah, well, I listened to the internet. And he's like, don't listen to the internet. He's like, and this is my buddy. He's played all of the games. He's read all of the Witcher books. And he even told me, he's like, dude, knowing you, I did not imagine that you would have a good time with The Witcher, which is weird because I love third person action adventure games, which is what The Witcher is. I went in thinking that The Witcher was an RPG, and not only an RPG, but a highly captivated, incredibly well written, well story told RPG. No. It's a mediocrely written third-person action-adventure game, which, again, kind of my bread and butter, but I needed to change my expectations. Jersey James for $5. Hype. Thanks, dude. I appreciate the super chats, guys. Thank you very much. Seriously, thank you. Mario Trujillo says, oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Oh, no, the crazy is spreading. Oh, you do know what I'm talking about? Wait, what was I talking about? Tell me what I was talking about. What were you talking about? Were we talking about the same thing? We could be talking about Mario Trujillo. What was I talking about that you know what I was talking about, and were you talking about it too? Please tell me. I know we're on delay. That's why I love making these moments awkward. Jonathan Grant, imagine imagine you go on a shooting spree in GTA 6 and it ends up lowering the in-game property value. Right? But dude, that's what Fable, like, just those games were just so fun for crap like that. And it seems like they're just trying to advance and make more systems like that. Because again, Fable was all about just the goofy crap you could do in the games. It's so great. Oh man. That's what I thought about Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. It was purchased for my wife. She's not into games like that. She was going to play it with some people and then time frames fell apart. But we have it on Family Share because I added her to my Steam is a family share thing, and so we get to share each other's games, and the rule is we just can't play the same game at the same time. But I think I will probably check out Baldur's Gate 3 this year, maybe. I don't know. Speaking of Witcher, one game I'm looking forward is the vampire RPG made by Blood of Dawnwalker. Right? It's Blood of Dawnwalker. Oh shit, you said it. Yeah. No, that's made by former CDPR guys. Is that a 2020? No, that's not a 2026 release. Earliest 2027, I thought. To Steam. Search the store. I need to get. Yeah, I didn't think Blood of Dawnwalker was a 2026 release. Blood of Dawnwalker. The Blood of Dawnwalker. Right? Okay. No, don't play. It just says coming soon. Coming soon. Yeah, so there's not even a release date. I don't believe this one is on my wish list though, because I want to see if it's any good. I don't know. I'm not sold on the gameplay mechanics that I've seen with some of the combat that they've shown off. I'm not sold on it yet. I'm gonna have to see more. Right, more information required. Royce treats his log like his door. He doesn't like things from the back. What? Oh, fuck off. Fucking Mario Trejo. Dude! Leaving like, cheers, King Bob! What's going on? Oh, man, don't do that. Oh, the ick is killing me, guys. Yeah, it's really, really interesting to... When it comes to the people that are just like, oh, I have so many games in my backlog. I'm like, why? Like, well, I just bought a whole bunch of games because I like pick one, buy that game. It's what I tell my kids. Dude, seriously, this is what I tell my kids with cereal. Stop opening up all the boxes of cereal. Open up one box of cereal. Finish that box of cereal. Then when that box of cereal is done, then open another box of cereal. Then finish that box of cereal. Then move on to the next one. Stop opening all of the boxes of cereal. They don't listen. Can you tell I used to drink with construction workers? Yeah, right. Made you think that, yeah. I will continue to play MGS5 for the millionth time. Metal Gear Solid. I am not the type of person who replays a lot of games. There are some that I will replay, but I'm not the type of person that like I need to go back and but games these days just aren't as good as games back in the day. Well, that's a fucking lie. You're stuck in the past. Stop. There are games these days that are absolutely fantastic, and the only reason that you have nostalgia goggles on is because everybody is lying to you and telling you that, you know, the thing that you had in 2004 was better than what you have in 2025, which is just an objective lie. Now, what we can say is that the AAA games have been suffering a lot lately. But there are a lot of indie titles out there that are absolutely doing incredibly well because of the technology, and you just have to search for things, right? But yeah, I don't usually replay games. I play a game one. That's why I struggle to go, because I was going back through Expedition 33, and I was going to kind of level up in that, and then try to do the final fight at the end of Expedition 33. But I've already beaten the story, and I don't need to prove myself. And I'm like, eh. And then I tried playing The Witcher, and I was just like, eh. I'm still trying to get through First Country for my last game. Wait, what? 1000% I replay games I enjoy, and I look for new games that I will like. I don't replay game. I guess once in a while. Especially now that like I'm getting like, again, I was out of gaming for a long time. Like played the Uncharted games, played all 4 of those, really like Uncharted. Sat down, tried playing the first one again, and I got, I don't know, an hour into it one day, and I was just like, oh, but I already know where this game is going. That's boring. I sat down and played Fable The Lost Chapters again a few years ago. Really prior to me, like, you know, really getting back into paying attention to the gaming world as much as I am now. because this is how I used to be. But I've always talked about it with my buddies. Played that, had a good time. Have no one. Yes, I love Fable: The Lost Chapters. Am I going to go back and play it anytime soon? No. The only one that I will sit there and I will constantly replay are my Need for Speed games. And about half a dozen times a year, I'll break the Need for Speed games out just for a few hours and promptly get told that I fucking suck because old games were actually hard. And the first Need for Speed Underground just cheats. Straight up just cheats, dude. The fucking code in that game is stupid. Yeah, I stopped playing it though because that one kept having a disc glitch in it. Yeah, I don't really play. I don't know. I don't really go back and play games like that. I've already kind of played and beaten. Like Power World's like one of those games like you never really beat. You know, you just kind of like I go into it and I just kind of farm sim with my pals for a little bit. I'm a strategy gamer, a European Universalis 5. Okay. It's a Paradox strategy game, Paradox. Generally better writing in older games. My favorite is still Imperium Galactica 2 space game with land and space combat. I have never been able to get into real-time strategies. Yeah. I got Hades years ago and still haven't beaten it. Roguelikes and Metroidvanias are so good to play bit by bit. I'm sure that there is a Metroidvania out there that I could potentially like, but I've never really been into Metroidvanias. I like my 3D games. I basically just listed like Crimson Desert 3D action adventure. Varen's Call 3D action adventure. Fable 3D action adventure. The one game that was different tonight is Solasta 2, which is a top-down isometric Dungeons and Dragons tactical CRPG. It's MG5. You can spend 1,000 hours and never do a single mission. Metal Gear Solid 5. What? I've never heard that about that game, but I've never played any of the Metal Gear games. I look at them and I'm just like, no, I did fuck around with one time. I don't remember which one it was. I know it was a 3D one, but I don't remember what one it was. It was one, I don't know, I was playing on one of my cousin's saves and I had no idea what was going on. And I wanted to run around and run and gun. And my cousin was like, no, dude, it's a stealth game. I was like, that's boring. It's like, no, it's not, dude. It's super good. And I was like, nah, it's gay. I want to run around and shoot you. I like Devil May Cry. Like, I was introduced to Metal Gear Solid during my like love of Devil May Cry. Again, third person action. That's stylized action. They don't do shit like that a whole lot anymore. But yeah, I'm very particular about the games that I like. And some of them I'm just like, nah, they're not my job. Although I have always been curious about Splinter Cell as an adult. As I've become an adult, I find Splinter Cell to strike my curiosity more than Metal Gear Solid. And all of that actually, believe it or not, comes from the Death Battle where they made Sam Fisher fight Snake Plissken. And obviously, I think everybody knows, if you know those game characters at all, which I do now because of Death Battle, that was a really, really good fight, though. Love Death Battle for stuff like that. Oh, man. So, guys, I've seen I've seen one person in the chat say what they were excited for, and it is Blood of Dawn Walker. What games are coming up that you guys in the chat are excited for? What are you thinking? I'll pull up the video. We can watch it. We can react to it and see what it's all about. But I need to know what you guys want. God of War Ragnarok made me wish I played more hack and slash games. RE9. RE9's a big one. Yeah, my buddy is very excited for RE9. I've never played the Resident Evil games, but I also don't. That's not my jam. I don't like horror style or freaky style games like that. Resident Evil, yeah, more people. Everybody's excited for Resident Evil. Yeah, the blonde guy that everybody loves in that game's coming back, right? And then all like the creepy women online are thirst trapping over him, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they're like, ooh, the blonde guy from Resident Evil and the way he's designed, and all the women are like losing their shit over him or something like that. I don't know. I heard something like that. Excited to play Re-enamel. What? What is that? Working too much. Haven't had time in between reading, writing, and work. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, well, that's the thing too. I have time to really sit down and play games right now because, again, it's winter time. Re-enamel. Do you have to re-enamel something in your house? I was at a convention before he was announced. His voice actor was there. There was a sign that said, "Don't ask about RE9." Yeah, and I think the first thing that was asked was about RE9, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. I'm going to type this into YouTube and see if this is even a game. Re-enamel trailer. Okay, what is this? From a year ago. Is this coming out in 2026? From 2 weeks ago. Official trailer. Ooh. On IGN. All right. Hold on, chat. Hold on. What is this? This looks like a Little Nightmares. By the same devs. Okay. So this is some creepypasta shit that, like, my daughter would probably like.
Over the next 60 seconds, we're going to tell you everything you need to know before you jump in.
No, shut up, IGN. I don't care. Oh, yeah, this is one of them creepypasta games that... Okay. These are really popular for some reason, and I just... You know what, though? I do get it. These are just platformers. They're just modern day, like, horror platformers is all they are. And so, yeah, for anybody who's like, oh, I get it. I get it. They're puzzles to solve. You got to hide. It's just a different type of platformer. And platformers have always been very, very popular with a lot of people. Excuse me. My goodness, Lord. February 13th, 26. Okay. Huh. I wonder if the oldest one would be into that, my love. Re-enamel. It's basically a spiritual successor to Little Nightmares. So interesting. Yeah, my daughter played actually all of the kids I think played Little Nightmares. They got into it, and I was like, I don't know. They're like, Dad, doesn't this game look cool? I'm like, no. Game looks like it's gonna give me fucking nightmares. And I already have nightmares. Yeah, they're a mix of horror and true crime, some of the biggest genres, right? A He-Man side scroller. I'm also looking forward to a He-Man side scroller. I saw the new Mega Man was coming out. That looked good. Not big into side scrollers myself. I understand a lot of people are like, side scrollers were the pinnacle of gaming. No, they weren't. No, they were not. That's a lie. Side scrollers are not. But that's just also me. So you've got He-Man trailer 2026. No. Oh, that's the movie. No, where's the game? He-Man. Where is it? He-Man. Was it side scroller? From 5 months ago. This one? Is this it? He-Man Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl Destruction? That one? Is this it? I think I found it. Apparently I have no audio. I have no idea. Interesting. Where is my audio? Did it just crap out on me? Hold on one second.
Tell you why.
Oh, straight up. That just had no audio. What the fuck? Do I have to turn it up? No, it just doesn't have audio. No, dude, that looks dope. I didn't even know that was coming out. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many good things that are coming out for a lot of different types of players this year. And I think that's what makes 2026 just really, really good. And very hopeful as well. And something, again, I it's been a very long time since I've had 4 games in a year that I looked at and went, probably gonna play. And I say probably because, and it's like, if one comes out and they're like, guys, I know they said it looked good, looks like hot garbage. It's not good. Don't waste your time, because I usually watch reviews for stuff because I try to be an informed customer, right? If you're informed, you're a customer. If you just buy day one, you're a consumer. I don't want to be a consumer. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think, I don't know. I'm excited. I think 2026 has a lot coming out. And I think that ultimately it's going to get, obviously everybody's waiting for GTA 6. I missed GTA 4 and GTA 5. I don't really, doesn't bother me to miss GTA 6 at all. And not only that, I'm not going to go out and buy a PlayStation. Like they're too damn expensive. I don't have a PlayStation. They're like, no, but it's also going to work on the Xbox Series S and X. And I was like, I have a Series S. So if it really does work on that, maybe I'll download. I have to find that thing, turn it back on, and see if it even functions. I don't know. It was given to us for a while back. That being said, the ick is killing me. Tonight, it's not just that my voice is tired. Tonight, it's that I have the ick. And I'm dying. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out tonight and actually having a fantastically fun conversation. I'm going to share the Discord link. And if you guys are not in the Discord, you should go join the Discord because, ladies and gentlemen, because you can share with me the videos that you want me to react to, which is a way for you to share the conversations with me that you want to have with me and the rest of the community, which I think is awesome. Where is the server share link? Where is it? Oh, wait, there it is. I found it. I never share this link. So guys, go check out the Discord. It's super fun. And chat with me in there and all of the rest of the friends of the channel. They has good times. And then the live stream react recommendations. If you got a video or an article or whatever you want me to react to, share it. Everybody's been posting depressing stuff lately because they like to hear me yell. So I guess if you want to hear me rant and yell about shit, you can post it in the live stream reaction. And I'll just be an anger monkey. Thank you so much for the $5, dude. I appreciate it. Oh. Thank you so much, Jersey. Feel better there. Dude, it's not even like it's detrimental. It's just like it wears on you. You get going for a minute, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, no, I guess I don't have the energy. And now my throat's sore, and now my face hurts. Why does my face hurt? I don't know. I didn't think my face would hurt, but it does. Also, I'm interested in developing my own indie game this year. Fantastic, Jonathan Grant. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna develop? You do a side scroller? You gonna do what are you thinking? But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in to A Drink with Crazy. And as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.